just want to remind you guys that the Dumb Dad podcast is presented by BetOnline.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your summer sports this season, from MLB, golf, NBA, and NHL playoff stats.
Evan just informed me that as of this recording, the Boston Bruins won the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, so if you bet on them to win in overtime in Game 7 in Boston,
good things are going to happen.
Yeah, they made some money, made some cash.
You can get all the latest stats, news, and scores available to follow your favorite teams.
That's right. Get the latest odds and lines, including the latest team matchups, player props, and odds on just about every sport out there.
Head over to the website today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Bet Online, where the game starts. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for listening to the Dumb Dad podcast. My name is Kevin, and I'm a dumb dad.
Hey, everybody. My name is Evan, and I'm a dumb dad. And on today's episode, this week's episode, Kevin is going to put a lot of pressure on his daughter and then back away from it as quickly as he can.
And on this episode, Evan is going to take his sweet, sweet time telling this story about taking his sweet, sweet time. Cheers, dummy.
Cheers.
So a little bit of housekeeping before we get started, ladies and gentlemen. We talked about it before. We're going to talk about it again. The Dumb Dads. We are going on tour. We want to know.
It's the first of...
We're starting the beginnings of a tour.
Yeah.
I wouldn't ask you guys what cities we should go to if the tour was set, but the tour is not set. We're going to do a little test run of a couple limited cities. So stay tuned for those to come out.
It's probably going to be Vegas, first off.
Probably going to be Reno.
You know when you drive to Vegas and then you're like, we're in Las Vegas! And it's like the first hotel there. Mm-hmm. Before, you're an hour away from the strip.
We're playing that lobby?
We're playing that lobby.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to play. Stay tuned. Listen in for, we'll announce the first cities when they come out, but then we're going to make a longer tour.
We're working on it.
We're working on it, but let us know.
For you. We're working on
Message
it for
us.
you.
DM us at the dumbdads or dumbdadpod@gmail.com. If you want us to come to your city, let us know. Let us know where we should play. So there's that.
Oh, man. I think we need... The first thing I think that I can even think of is we need a T-shirt cannon. That's the only thing I can think about.
I don't think we're going to be playing in as big a space as you think.
Hey, man.
I just see
hands up. It's coming in hot.
I just see a T-shirt going up into the ceiling tiles, or just kind of like the corkboard, whatever that stuff is, just and then the T-shirt doesn't come back out.
You hear it, boom, 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 boom. Like, and
then you start
over
hearing
the lobby,
and then you start hearing scurrying above you, and you're like, "Oh, let's get out of here!
Evacuate the theater." I've had my fair share experiences with rats around.
You sure have.
We gotta get out of here.
So how you been, pal? How's parenting life treating you?
Not too bad.
Great. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Yeah, next month, we're winding down the year here.
The school year.
Just
so nobody's checking their phones while they're driving. Is this the Christmas one?
Yeah, not an evergreen episode in that sense. We're winding down the school year here, and I'm just kind of taking in, it's Teacher Appreciation Week this week.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to all the teachers. By the time you hear this, the week will have been over.
Yeah.
So nobody's thanking you anymore. Wow.
What a continuous
pleasant surprise. We're thanking you after.
Yeah. I don't know. I've just been thinking more about parenting in general, being with my kids, and we talked last week about like how your roles kind of flipped and you're working in the office more and your wife's with the kids more.
Yeah.
And that's been kind of weird. And just because life in general is busy, like we make the joke all the time, who has time to watch a show? Who has time to do this? Who has time for that? Because you just fill your time like so much with like baseball practice, come home. Oh, I forgot to put the wet laundry in the dryer. I'll do that now, but so I don't have to wash it again. Okay, now we got to work on dinner. And then it's just like time fills up so quickly.
Can I say though?
Yeah.
As a parent who sounds like you're going through it, and you'll continue to explain more. I just want you to know how proud we are that you are putting the wet laundry in the dryer. That is the right thing to do.
Right, but I just mean like, washed it the day before, I guess is what I should have said.
The mildew.
Day old, yeah. When you pull a piece out and go, oh, yep, got to run that one more time.
But if I put a fabric softener in, I don't have to wash.
I don't know. It's like, and so we've been trying to like squeeze time, like force family time. My son did baseball, and he was doing this like huge like school project thing, which we can get into in a second, which is kind of a fun story. But he said like we were like adding continuous swim lessons is just going to be like that much more. So we pulled him from swim lessons for a bit.
Pulled him from swim.
And we just go to the Y, the good friendly neighborhood YMCA, which is amazing. And so that's where he takes swim. And
shout out to the Y.
Shout out to the YMCA.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. Boy, wouldn't that be cool if they were?
That would be cool.
So we thought, well, we don't want him to like, we're going to pull him from swim, but we don't want him to like just go from like swim lesson, and then no swimming. So we thought, here's what we'll do. We'll book like open family swim on Monday evenings. And that's what we've been doing for, I don't know, like 2 months.
All four of you
something
going?
like that. All four of us go, yeah. My daughter is still in swim classes, but she's 5. And so she's still, she does a great job. Like tonight she swam the length of the pool like 3 times.
Sweet.
So for her, it's just getting every little bit, every time helps. She gets a little bit stronger each time and that much more confident in the water. I mean, tonight she was like, in the last couple of times, like figuring out how to like swim, like force her body to the bottom of the pool to get the ring and swim back up with it.
Sure.
Which is hard to learn when you weigh like 50 pounds. Not even that.
It's just mostly
like,
air.
It's like you're fighting against how easily you float.
This is crazy. You have to let out all of your air.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be like trying to hold a bottle above water.
Yeah, exactly. So all that to say, the reason I bring all that up is like, I've just been really enjoying that because it's time that it's like a good reminder. Make time to do things where you just focus on what you're doing.
Sure.
Because like when we're in the water, there's no phone, there's no nothing, no distraction. We're just like hanging out, giggling, putting the kids on our shoulders and stuff, and it just feels like good, valuable family time. There's no way to get distracted or have it pulled from you or whatever, and we just like have that hour, and it's like, I don't know, I guess I've just been like really valuing that over the last couple months because everything else feels so chaotic that it's good to just like pick the time and go and commit to just going something. It doesn't have to be swimming. It could be whatever. It could be a walk around the neighborhood, 3 nights a week after dinner or something like that. Just where it's like, that's what we're going to go do and we all do it together.
That's funny you say our neighbor, when we moved into our house, our next door neighbor, they'll take morning walks. And when we moved here, COVID, nobody was talking to anybody. And we would see them in the mornings. We were like, huh. We did that a lot in our apartment.
Yeah.
It is a fun thing to do with your family.
Just walk around the apartment.
You just walked around the apartment?
Yeah.
No, all we did was walk because we were in an apartment.
Yeah.
That's good. I can relate to that. I literally had a moment like that tonight, actually. My wife, they went to the pool as well. They went a little earlier than you guys went. So I was staying here and I was like,
you just sat in the room in the dark and just
yeah, see, no phones. I did great. Me time. I was in the moment and it was so sad.
I don't think I should have sat in the shower.
You know when you like
drawn?
You know when you wake up and your eyes never closed?
The
sun's a little bit lower.
Yeah.
You're like, how much time has passed?
Where was I?
No, I had that moment after they came back. They were all taking baths and then we all had dinner. And then I was preparing for you to come over so we could do this very podcast. Wow. Now you're all caught up, everyone. That's my day.
Now you're here with us. This is so meta. We are at the you're at the podcast.
Get out. We're recording. Then my wife was like, I'm going to take a shower. If you can just set the kids up and then I'll read to them and do the rest of bedtime. And I was like, sure. So get them all dressed, brush their teeth. And then I was like, all right, no screens. You guys can hang out. And I started to come back here to set up the room for the podcast. And my daughter was like, hey, Dad, I want you to read with me. And I was like about to be like, I got to get the podcast ready. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, I'm so sick of Evan not carrying his weight, setting up this damn room. No. No, I was like, it was in that moment that I was like, yeah, I'll read you.
Yeah.
Fine. Let's go.
Yeah.
And then we sat down. And it was just because it was in my head that my wife was like, said, I'll do, just get them dressed and ready. And by the time I get out, and she wasn't out yet. even though we're in a drought. It's just like just in there.
Pounding
just,
on the door.
I mean,
Hello?
I was like, there's so much water. I can pull up the water bill. No. No, she wasn't taking a long shower. But by the time I got them dressed and brushed, and she was still in there, and I was like, will you read to me? And it was one of those moments, same, where it was just like, yeah, enjoy this.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we've kind of like may have teased or dunked on this idea before, like all the constant reminders on social media, like they're not going to always ask you to pick them up and blah, 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 which is true, but the way that they present it in such a guilt-ridden fashion, whereas like it's still true that you should find the moments to enjoy time with your kids, right?
That's a video we should make. It was like, a day's going to come where they're not going to go swimming. Huh? What?
Because they're just not in the mood, and you're old, and like they don't like going to. It's been 12 years in a row. They don't like swimming anymore.
You're so annoying. You have to get in that device, and they have to lower you.
Lower you down into the water,
and all you do is complain about the water temperature.
Yeah, as it goes from your toes to your ankles
anyway,
to your calves.
Enjoy it now.
You can have that thing just swing you over and like tip you sideways and just dump you off of it.
That'd be great.
That'd be better. Let's do it that way. So we've teased these videos all the time, but like it's also not untrue. It's like you should find the ways in which you find a moment to enjoy the moment with your kids and not feel so rushed out of things. And I can help you for a second, but I got to get back to my thing. And I guess what I'm saying is I've appreciated just having a thing to look forward to where I know that's going to happen.
Sure.
Right. It's cool to find the moments reading him a book, or I helped him with homework for a second.
Yeah.
Or, brushing her hair in the morning. We have like 2 minutes where she goes, ow, ow, ow. But that's really it as I'm trying to brush her hair. But it
sounds so wonderful. God, I'll miss
her
that.
Hair,
when
my
it's
daughter's hair is so thin and fine, and it's like any little snag, and it just feels like it's getting ripped out of her head. It's really her hair is a tough one to navigate because it's so thin. It just gets in knots, like really bad. Anyway, it's nice to have those moments like kind of built into the week, So it's a good reminder to then help find them in other places in the week. So just a good reminder. Good reminder. Find something like that for yourself, and don't be afraid to find the funny. Find the joy in it as well. Because let me tell you, this whole thing exists because we recognize the rest of it's just chaos. At circus.
It's just chaos and it's not fun.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Again.
I fell asleep with my eyes open.
Oh my gosh, again.
Enjoy your children. Everyone is listening. Like, enough.
Yeah.
All right?
Enough with the complaining.
Stop listening to the podcast. Wait, hold on. No, wait, hold on. Let me finish. Finish your podcast. Or if you're going to walk away from it, leave it running so we still get the...
Listen to the podcast on the way to the pool.
Just keep it downloading.
Yeah, that's really what we care about.
Write a review and then go to the pool.
Write a review, go to the pool, keep the download. You don't have to listen to it.
You should, though. You are listening to it.
Oh, we are painting ourselves into a corner here. Let's go to the... Hey, speaking of which...
Time to the Dumb Dad moment.
Time for the Dumb Dad moments of the week.
Dumb Dad moments.
It's a good part of the week. It's a good part of the week to just sit down and be like, I am not good at this.
No, I had
Let me give you an example. I'll give you an example.
Here's one for you. My Dumb Dad moment, if I may.
Oh, please, Kevin.
Thank you. My Dumb Dad moment is brought to you by baseball.
Okay, good.
We're back in it.
Lots of Dumb Dad moments brought to you by baseball this summer, I believe. Spring and summer.
Yeah. As the listeners know, I am like the assistant coach, kind of.
Let's see. Let me guess. You're about to lose your reign as PTA president, so now you're president of the Little League. Is that about right?
It's called the commissioner. What? I am the commissioner of all of Los Angeles rec leagues. I don't know what happened. I got to stop signing things outside of the Ralphs.
Of all the travel
I thought
teams,
it was
my
for
kids
a
aren't even
bill.
in travel ball.
This guy stopped me outside of the Ralphs and was like, will you sign this? I thought it was for a bill.
Yeah, I was the only first person to sign it.
Yeah.
First and only.
Should have known. So, as people know, I'm kind of like an assistant coach of my kids' team. And for a quick recap, the first game we played of the season, I was the coach because the coach was unavailable and it was the first game. So I am just like, I was nervous because I was just like, I don't know what to do here. Like, this is insane. I haven't played since T-ball.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
You just want to make sure that friendship is the victor. That's your goal.
That's what I tell everybody.
Yeah, that's right.
Who won? Friendship
Who won? Friendship. That's who won.
This ties great into my dumb dad moment. So the first game we played against a team where the coach was, how do I put it?
A little aggressive, if I remember. Yeah, a little aggressive in the expectations of
his players.
T-ball children.
He had them whipped together like a bunch of military kids, and I can respect that aspect of it, getting them to like, guys, you're on a team, you need to listen to me, that kind of stuff.
Sure.
But then he would always just take it a little too far and yell, and the kid would get out, and he'd be like, "What are you
bag of guts! I swear to you, you lose another ground ball like that." Like that kind of military?
Yeah, that was the thing. It was like in play. I just remember, like, I have so many core memories, and obviously I'm not going to speak for every kid, but I personally have so many core memories of like embarrassment. I know everyone does. Sure. Not just sports, in life. You have so many moments in your life where like you got embarrassed in front of people.
Yeah.
And
boy, if I could count them.
I watch these things happen, then I'm like, maybe these kids won't remember it, but like it's bringing me back to my moments of probably one or two of them will, where it's just like they got out, they didn't make it to first, and he's still yelling at them. You know what I mean? And it's like they know. We made them walk of shame back to the dugout. So anyway, we lost that game by 1 point, by one run, and 1 point, a half point. They were 3 under when the first round was over, because it was a touchback. But
wow, they'll get you every time.
Yeah, they'll get you every time. And this week you can't grab the ball past those white lines. That's a touchback. Oh my God.
Anyway,
are you still here? Who's listening?
It was Love 30. And
Love 30. So we're playing. We played them again this upcoming week. And it was this past week.
There we go.
This past week we played them again. And it was so funny because we're walking up to the field. They're all there. We got there too early. Like, we thought the game was at like 5, so we got there at 4:30. The game wasn't until 5:30, so we were an hour early. We show up. He's got like 4 kids already there, and they're throwing around the ball and whatever. And my daughter goes, "Oh, are we playing the?" I'm not gonna say it, the team, but she's like, "Oh, are we playing them?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she goes, "Ugh, come on." And I was like, "Oh, okay," because like I didn't really talk to my daughter about any of this.
Yeah,
just kind of I've told way too many parents that didn't want to even hear it, probably.
Sure.
The weather's been nice. You want to hear about weather? So there was a guy who was a little hot around the collar at my kid's baseball game. I'm like, all right, I gotta go pick up my kid. I'm a dad now. So it was funny to have my daughter have that reaction. I was like, oh, okay, this is bothering you too. So then like other kids start to show up. I was like playing. It was just my daughter and I for half hour, and then other kids start to show up. And another dad shows up who also was helping out a lot. And he was helping out in the first game. He was also like out in the field with me and stuff. He was a coach in third base. And he comes up to me and he goes, I really need the win today against these guys.
Oh, man.
And I was like, I know what you mean. I know. And I was like, I told him what my daughter said. And he goes, oh my God, my son said the same thing. And I was like, that's crazy. So all these kids are clocking, like, this guy's yelling so much.
That is
like,
crazy.
That they're like, I don't like that guy.
Yeah.
I don't like that team. I don't like him.
Yeah.
He was a lot. He's a lot. I'll let you know another inside thing real quick. When we did picture day, which was like the week after first game, we went in to do our team pictures. And then when we came out, they were there sitting. And one little kid was holding out his hand. And some of the players on my team high-fived him. Some of them probably just didn't see it.
Yeah.
But kids are going to high-five at any opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
So I just like walked up to the kid and got low, and I was like, my dude, and gave him a high five. And the coach like whacked the kid in the arm, and he was like, put your hand down. And I was like, what is... all right, man. Like, I just don't like him. Don't like that. I just don't like that kind of attitude, what it's going to do to kids, how it's going to make kids walk away from the game. I've talked about it before. So anyway... Yeah. We're all like fired up. The kids are fired up. You know, we're not trying to feed that energy to the kids. We still want the kids to have fun in the game and do whatever. And also, because he's got these kids running like the military, and we're like bad news bears. Yeah. We're probably gonna get stomped again.
Yeah.
So we.
Yeah.
You know, one of the good things about damaged people make great athletes and actors. I mean, that's just a fact. You break them early, they'll be good at something, but family-wise, not so much. So we're playing the game, and the kids, it was so funny. It was like a Bad News Bears, where in the first inning, we do mercy rules of 6 runs, up and down. Yeah. And then second inning, we, because they were at bat first, they got like a run in, and then we got a guy out. And then the very next batter goes up, and we got him out. And the coach like slowly turns and looks at me. And I was like, don't. I was like, relax. And then we got like the third guy out.
Yeah.
So they only got like 2 runs in. Then we mercy ruled 6. And then it was just like, and then I think we got another 3 outs. My daughter got 2 outs in 1 inning, which was really fun. So then we're in the bottom of the 4th, which is all we play is 4 innings. And the coach walks up to me and he just goes, I probably shouldn't be telling you this. And I was like, it's what? He goes, we just need to bring in 2 runners and we'll win. And I was like, all right, cool. Whatever.
Yeah.
Let's have fun out there. I'm not going to say anything because we're going to get 3 outs if you say that.
Yeah.
It's just like, and again, it's about the kids having fun, which our kids were having a blast. So anyway, the second batter up is my daughter. We already have a runner at first.
Yeah.
And she gets a hit. She gets on base. And I'm just like, she's on there. I'm like, high five her. She gives me a hug. We're chatting.
You're first base coach?
First base coach.
Yeah.
So now we're just sitting there, high five, talking. And then I was like, hey, if you make it home, we win.
Oh, man.
And she goes, are you serious? And I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, why not? Who cares? Let's go. And she was like, okay. And I was like, so you got to run fast. I was like, you might get out. Don't be upset. We won't lose the game if you get out.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you get home, we win. But if you don't, we won't lose. Okay? And she's like, all right, cool. And she got all like jazzed up. I was like, you better get to those bases fast. You know, I'm just trying to pump her up. Be fun, Dad. Like, let's put a little extra something on this game. We've played like 4. We've lost every one she's ever played. They won one.
The hint of this story starts to remind me of like, there's a test tomorrow. You need to do your best. So if you don't do your best, then it's like she overthinks the test and doesn't sleep well.
Well, they hit the ball. She gets to second.
Uh-huh.
Next person hits the ball. She gets to third. And now the other coach, I don't know if he's keeping score too.
Yeah.
But he's like yelling at the pitcher. The ball comes to you. You get her out. You get third base out, which makes sense. You don't want to get the run in, especially because like this is like half T-ball, half coach pitch, where like after 3 pitches they go to the tee.
Yeah,
and so sometimes it's a lot of grounders. And sure enough, the ball gets hit. It's now it's a race, and she's just racing this kid who has the ball to tag her out, and she makes it home. Tags the plate. We don't do walk-offs. It's not like game over. We're going to finish the inning.
Yeah.
What I didn't expect to happen was she tagged it, looked at my wife, and goes, we won! And my wife is like, stop, go back to the bullpen. She's like, we won, right? We won. Like, we won? We got enough runs? We won? And my wife is just like, go back in the
not
bullpen.
What the focus is.
Like, not what the focus is. That's not nice to the other kids. Like,
backfire.
Backfired.
Oh, talk about your all-time backfires.
So it went in, and then she like my wife like met her at the dugout. I was like, you can't say it because remember how you felt like it's just a game. We're just trying to have fun, and we got in like 4 more runs after that. But then the game ended, and it was funny. We said the friendship won because that was what I was saying to all the kids while the other team was there. Who won? Friendship won. But like, who won? Friendship won. Friendship always wins.
Yeah.
Friendship.
Well, because earlier you told her that...
No, I didn't. What? I didn't say that. That's not possible.
It's so funny how it's almost like a little bit of it that guy is full of to the brim, uncontrollably got a hold of you a little bit. The desire of it a little bit, right? A tiny bit. It's like you'd have to say that, like, not making it all about that. It's not hanging on everything, but kind of mentioning it is like a little bit of that putting the excitement into the kid, right? Of like, this can happen if you do this or whatever, where it's like, I don't know if that's unnecessary pressure, because I think some pressure is good, right? I think some...
That's the only thing I will...
But I don't know if that's it. I don't know if that's it, 7, 8 years old or 10. I don't know when that is.
Here's what it is. I will admit, it was a dumb dad moment.
Yeah.
That wasn't a great move to do. Having said that, I like that it put a little extra pressure on her because there was an opportunity for her not to get home. She had to hit 3 more bases for this all to work out. So had she been tagged out or something, that would have been another good opportunity. Mm-hmm. I will defend that because I do like that about what they're doing. Like, we still finish the innings. We don't do walk-offs or, you know what I mean? Like, it is fun to have them learn the basics of the game. I think losing is important. And I think losing is important, especially at this juncture. I know your son's is a little different.
I think it's wild that they both play essentially in the same
cities
recreational.
Yeah, and they have different rules.
Global whatever.
Yeah.
And they do it completely differently. We just run through the lineup.
Yeah.
The whole team hits, great. Which
is great. Like, I literally don't have any opinion of that either. I think I like that there's an opportunity for winning and losing because that's an important lesson, especially at a time where like most of these kids are terrible at fielding a ball. So everyone's going to get a run in. Like, everybody's going to probably make it home.
That's where I'm not really sure, because it's like, it's hard because like we're playing against teams that the kids hit it, and because that's what's kind of weird about it. We don't have an umpire at all. Like, not even anybody to just kind of like help run the game. It's all up to us.
Probably why you guys don't keep score.
Therefore, when our team goes up, we teach them maybe the same kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I'm first base coach as well.
Yeah.
The kids hit the ball. If it comes over to first, they get out. I tell them like, "Oh, good hustle.
Yeah.
You're out. Okay, you got to go back to the dugout." I send them back.
Yeah.
Other teams we play against, the kid gets a hit, runs to second, gets tagged out, stays there.
Yeah.
Next kid up, hits, keep running. And it's like, that. I don't feel like it matters that much.
I don't think there's anything wrong.
But there is something where it's like, some of our kids have said like, well, how come their kids, when they get tagged out, they stay out there? And I just kind of deflect it a little bit and say like, we're kind of all just really working on baseball right now. It's not that big of a deal. And they go, okay. Like, some of them kind of like, you could tell are kind of like, well, that I don't understand why we have to get, but it's like, because it's not that big of a deal. You know, to me, it's so much more about trying to keep them focused on being ready, trying to keep them focused on swinging hard, trying to keep them focused on like laughing with each other in the dugout and stuff like that. And not that you're not, I'm just saying like that's
exactly what it sounds like you're saying.
That's the vibe of, which is like,
I share one story and you tear me down.
Get ready. Here comes another one. Here comes the right hand. I mean, so to me, it's just like it's a little bit of both, right? I mean, I don't disagree. Like, learning to lose is important as well, because we can't all win, especially the things that we love so much when it's a competition-based thing. What's interesting to me is when that comes to be a major factor of like talent. When talent or skill can dictate the result, where I don't really feel like talent or skill dictates the result now very much at all.
I think that's why I'm saying I like that there's that they're keeping score, because even if there is a kid on the team, on any team, that is like, that kid's good. He can field the ball really well.
Yeah.
He can hit it. The rest of his team isn't that way.
He still has to throw it over to somebody who is like
gonna miss it.
Never caught anything.
So because of that, like, the winning and loss is fun because like they're all doing not great because they're all learning to do it and they're all having fun. So everybody has an opportunity to be a hero. Whereas like if there's no rules and then they start to go to like proper minor league, little leagues or whatever, it's like then suddenly they're playing against all these kids that have been playing since they were 4. And then suddenly you're losing.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you're not that good. And then it's like, it's a lot of information at once. They're like, oh, now we're keeping score.
I feel
now
like
you're out and you go home. Like,
yeah. Although I feel like you can certainly pick that up quicker than you could fundamentals. Like, if the kid is like really struggling with fundamentals because it's never really worked on that much.
Yeah.
And they try to go to like a really well organized like league in their city or whatever. you could learn the basics of where to go, where to throw it, and stuff like that faster than you could learn like how to field a ground ball, how to catch a fly ball. Can you throw to somebody accurately from more than 30 feet away? Like that kind of stuff. Yeah. So again, I think it just kind of goes back to like there's a line somewhere. I don't know what that is. Yeah, it's almost like we're kind of both finding it out when our kids. Because what's funny is like I don't think there is. Basically are the same. Our kids are basically the same age. They play in the same skill level. It's coach pitch, and then if you miss, well, we miss 5, you put a tee up there, and then they smack it or whatever.
I think the point is there is no line, and I think that's fine. I think as long as they're make sure they're having fun
for sure,
and it's not about winning and losing. Mm-hmm. And then just have fun out there. Yeah, that's all that matters.
My dumb dad moment is sponsored by baseball.
Okay.
Not really, but it's adjacent, so we're going to go with it. This last Saturday was one of those Saturdays where you start the Saturday with your spouse in bed, and when you both wake up and you look at each other, you're like, it's going to take so much focus, time, and effort and concentration to earn our way back here at this spot tonight.
Oh, wow, that's a horrible...
Do you know what I mean by that?
Terrible way to start your day.
Do you know what I mean by that? Where you're just like, there's so many things on the docket today. We have to make it through like baseball game. We have to make it through gymnastics, split parenting. Like I'm going to the baseball game. I'm helping, coach the baseball team. You're headed to gymnastics. On the way, we need to make a stop and do this. And, the whole day is like littered with like that kind of a schedule, so you're just like, man, today is going to be a long day because there's just a lot of stuff we need to focus on with the kids and moving them around. It's like a full weekend day.
Can I ask you something about that? Well, you've already kind of said how you feel about it, that you guys woke up and had a big exhale, that you have a big day. But I'm of the mind that like, that's great for me. A day it's like not, that.
Yeah, I don't mean to position
because
it
it's hurry up and wait. It's like go to a baseball game, which takes a lot of focus, especially if you're assistant coaching or whatever, or even just watching. It takes a focus. But like gymnastics, all that, those are all kind of breaks. Yeah, you got to get them there, but then there's breaks.
Kind of one of those things. Like we had visitors at our house, some family in town. Mm-hmm. My wife is entertaining them until late in the evening. That evening, that's also when you and I went to Netflix as a joke. We saw Bill Burr. And so that was like a late night. So it's like I guess what I'm saying is like you're laying on the pillow at night late. It's like late. Sure. Going to bed way later than normal. Yeah. And you got to get up early, face that day. It's not a negative thing. It is like filled with activities. Kids are going to be tired. It's going to be a great day. But it's still kind of like, I'm tired. I wish I could have slept longer. But it begins right now. Sure. That kind of a thing, So, having said all that, there's like so much going on in the schedule, right? Yeah. I can't remember what we had to do before now at this point, but we had to do something like before we even went to baseball or whatever. And it was like
breakfast.
No, it was like something we had to do or whatever. And then it was like, okay, let's run to Starbucks first. Let's get some coffee. That way I can get there early with my son, do a little warm up as they grab their coffee and then they head to gymnastics, their coffee, my wife's coffee, so that they can head to gymnastics. My wife can have it as it's like, let's eliminate breakfast at home because we already got to do this other thing, and then we'll head to the thing, whatever. Then it was like, like any other day where it's like struggling to get the kids out of the house, and it's like, okay, we got to be at baseball in like 5 minutes. So scratch walking. We need the ride. We'll take the ride. Wife will bring us there. Then she will go to Starbucks, get us some coffee, as we're already there at the field, like putting cleats on, starting to warm up a little bit. And I completely lose sight of the fact in those moments of like, that's how the morning already started, that they were then on to gymnastics. So I'm over at the baseball field, like I'm kind of half checking my phone, making sure my wife, like seeing where she is or if she's having any questions for me or whatever, as I'm like playing catch with the kids warming up. Sure. And then she does text me and she's like, we're here. Can you meet me in the parking lot? Or on my way, on our way, can you meet us in the parking lot? I'm like, sure. So I'm like, I see that, and I'm like, okay. I'm thinking like, did I forget that she went and grabbed something? I can't remember. Maybe she brought something that she needs. Whatever. I don't know. Whatever it is. And so she texts me. I see it. Like I'm like, okay. And then my phone's buzzing in my pocket, but I'm talking to another dad. And then, I bring my son over and I'm telling him something because we're starting to kind of get ready a little bit. And then my phone goes off again in my pocket. And I'm thinking like, okay, yeah, I got to check my phone. And then it's like I go have a word with the coach really quick, and then a kid like does something whatever, and I look at my phone and I missed call from my wife, and then we're in the parking lot. Can you come meet us here? And I'm like, yeah. So I walk over there. It's like, we're like 600-700 yards from the parking lot to like the baseball field, like across the park, part of it. So I walk over there, and I go, what's up? And she's like, we need to get to gymnastics like right now. And I was like, right. And then, so she like hands the food and coffee to me out of the car window, and basically it's like peels off, basically. And then like my really long walk back to the baseball diamond was like, man, I was just like casually walking all the way
just
here.
Killing time. Terrible start.
My wife texted me and she was like, you ding dong, with like a crying, laughing emoji. She was like, I was cursing you the whole way. I could see you walking casually over to us. She texted me that like in the first inning or whatever. And I responded. I was like, that makes me laugh really hard because I was cursing myself walking back. Like, you stupid idiot. Like, she must have just been like, why don't you see if there's a flower you could pick? Like, will you get over here?
Oh, God. I knew you were in trouble when you got a call once and you're like, I'm going to keep talking to somebody. I'm not even going to look.
Part of me is thinking, like, what's taking Starbucks so long? We're about to start here.
Right. It can't
thinking they're going to come watch.
It can't be your fault.
Yeah. Come on, girls. Game's going to start here.
Oh, man.
So it was just being a ding-dong, not paying attention to 100% to the schedule we committed to, like, an hour and a half before. Stupid idiot.
Stupid.
And my wife, like, the windows are foggy by the time I get to the car, like, hey, can you take longer? Yeah. Sorry again, babe. It'd
be great if she put it on the car. I just went, we have to go to gymnastics and peeled out.
Yeah, I got to catch it.
Check your phones, guys.
Check your phone. Just glance at it.
Just glance at your phones.
Just glance at your phone. It can be in lock mode, I think. You'll see. Just glance at it. Be aware, dummies.
Beware. I have multiple dumb dad moments with my Apple Watch. I'll get alerts of text messages, so I'm pretty aware when people text me. But then every once in a while, I don't get the alerts, and I've got to learn, like, just don't rely on it. Just check your phone regularly. Like, sometimes I just won't get the push notification.
Yeah.
And my wife's like, you have a device on your arm that tells you I'm texting you. I was like, I swear it didn't go off. Maybe it does, and I miss it, but I feel pretty confident it doesn't. Happen every time. It's an old watch.
Maybe it's tired, just it'll let you know if something's important. If not, it's like then pull your phone out of your pocket, man. I don't know.
Yeah. You're gonna go on it anyway.
What do you want me to do down here?
Currently on TikTok.
You swiped the thing away. You swiped it away.
Dummy. I think it's a good place to leave it.
It's a pretty good place to leave it. That's just I really liked that dumb dad moment because it was just like, stupid idiot. You literally just committed to it. And it's one of those things we talk about. Once in a while we'll have an actual all-timer, one that'll make the top 10 list of all-timers. But this was just like a standard, pay attention, man.
Pay attention. You already talked about how the day is a long one.
Yeah, we literally reviewed it.
Why'd you make it longer?
Literally reviewed it.
Bummer. Well, guys, if you have your just not answering your wife's texts or just handling a sports event wrong, just let us know. DM us, at the Dumb Dads, which is our handle on all social media, or email us, dumbdadpod@gmail.com, and let us know your stories. Also,
what are you doing?
Rate and review this podcast.
What are you doing?
Rate and review this podcast, guys.
You know why? Because it helps.
Really helps us when you guys can do that. And when you do write reviews, that was fun, right?
It wasn't bad. I just don't know you as a Broadway kind of guy. So when you spring into it, it's like...
when you do, guys. Here we go.
Kevin will sing
if you do
just like this.
This is from Scoopy Giles 07.
Scoopy?
Scoopy Giles
07. 007?
No, just the seventh one.
All right.
5 stars, so on point is the subject. This is one of my favorite podcasts to catch up on. I feel so out of place when I miss an episode. As a fairly new dad myself, you guys are so relatable and funny. So many of the things you two experience, I'm yelling to myself, yes, somebody gets me. Keep up the great work that you do as dads, husbands, and podcasters. Thanks, Scoopy.
Thank you, Scoopy. That you know what? That makes us feel good because when Kevin and I talked about how difficult parenting is and being dads and how we get a lot of stuff wrong, it was like someone gets how I feel.
Someone gets how I feel. Thank you.
We already felt like, we understood each other on multiple levels, writing comedy and doing stuff together. But then it was like, oh, you think this is hard too? Yeah, it's really hard, right?
It's really
well, this is what...
It's really hard.
It's really hard.
But you guys are doing it. We're proud of all of you. Yeah. Thanks to Everdo on SoundCloud for the music. Thanks, as always, to our wonderful, incredible, beautiful editor who happens to be my wife.
Right, calm down.
At Annie LaFerrier on social media for editing this podcast.
Thank you.
Do you have a joke?
I got a joke. Ready? Oh, first of all, happy birthday to my brother and sister.
Okay.
They're twins. Their birthday today. Where do zombies like to go swimming?
The Dead Sea?
Yeah, you nailed it.
Yeah.
And you can only slip so many past the goalie before you get pregnant. Thanks for joining us this week, and we'll talk. I don't even think I did that analogy correctly.
I want to go home. Okay, bye. Welcome to the world, little one. Welcome to life.
How do I stop this?